Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, back for you once again. How you doing? Hope you're feeling good this Thursday evening. Anyway, well, we're going to get to the show right quick. If you want to call in and be a part of the greatness of this, the Dukect Lounge, as always, the link is right here. Let me just put the link right here as well. If you want to come in and connect to me, Dukect. If you have a headset and you got a microphone, you come in, you can join into the show and have your conversations. In fact, that's going to be the main thing of next week's show. It's going to be Wild Card, your show, your way of acting it, and I'm going to be asking people to, what questions or anything else from from the world of entertainment to otherwise. So, by the way, it is next week when I hopefully will be back home before that happens. If not, next week. I will be a week later. So, again, if you want to connect to me, Dukect, next week it's going to be, uh, you know, next week is that. But also tonight, if you want to talk to me, link right there in the not just right here in the chat room. If you want to come in and talk to me and all that good stuff. Anyway, so let's talk about some AEW, the news of AEW. This company has been going up, down, all around, doing all this stuff here. It's gonna be oh, it's gonna be this, oh, it's gonna be that, this thing ever. Meanwhile, it looks like they're having a big. They look at the TV deal they've got, and it's great. And I think right, and but there might be a bit of a sacrifice for it. Um, um, because it looks like this might be a supposedly new deal. Rampage, AEW Rampage has been basically, and this is from coming soon. It says Rampage, which was CM Punk's debut back to wrestling, and there was some big moments before that. Christian winning the TNA championship. Just there were some good things there. You know, there's some really good things here. You know, you know, impact. There's some like great moments of Rampage, great moments of like promos and matches. I think Hobbs and Ricky Starks had some good matches there too. There was some really good stuff. I think the three-way match between Andrade, Guevara, and Sammy Guevara, and Darby happened there. Really good stuff here. So I think there were some really great moments and fun times and very interesting fun times at the at Rampage. But problem is Rampage has not been in a very good place actually. Rampage feels like it's just been in a sometimes hits, sometimes misses, and it hurts the fact that once upon a time, Rampage was live or sometimes taped on like different nights, and now it's just being, was just conjointed. Same thing with Ring of Honor. The problem is with that, once you have that conjointed with Ring of Honor, it's just like Rampage had that. That was the problem. That was the main problem of I think one of the main problems of Rampage is that it's just like the show doesn't really did not it just felt like man it's another hour and it was exhausting. Same with the 2 hour grand slams, 4 hour grand slams. That was the problem of the shows. So that's what it feels like when AEW Rampage out. It's just like it became AEW Dynamite Hour 3. That's what the problem is, and I think that's one of the main issues of the show and everything else is that. And by the way, shout out to also Rampage was the match from him and Willa Yuta versus Moxley. This was the match that made him Willa Yuta into a star as he kept fighting, and I'm hopefully that this he finally picks up the big victory. You know, but also you see, this is Twitter and all this other stuff here, so you never know what type of stuff is real or not real, and everything else. Says it's canceled and stuff like that. The new deal. Well, I have it right here. Orland also reports that the promotion is pitching a new package AEW Shockwave to ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, Telemundo, Univision, CW, and Ion, which is hilarious. I want that so badly. I would love it. I know Fox and such and NBC or CBS or whatever would be fine, but CW would be perfect. I would love to see that. Just to see CW um yeah, that would just be amazing. You know? That is something um That would be hilarious to me. I want the pure chaos. I want pure chaos, ladies and gentlemen. You know? That's what I think. Yeah. So, yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is to me. Rampage, and hopefully Shockwaves means they get bigger matches, but not just that, but bigger feuds, bigger stuff like that. I think that would be something much more important. And I know some people are pissed off though. I think, personally, I think that, you know, I wish they could make Shockwave into like the women's show, or personally, I wish they could do some Ring of Honor. If I had hopefully the deal has some with Ring of Honor, or when they do have enough money in the internal structure, they can do is actually put Ring of Honor in a place that they can, make Ring of Honor into like a dailies place or something. Put it in dailies place, or if they can't do dailies place, do something more of it. I think Ring of Honor, I think AEW losing a channel, gaining a new one, Shockwave. I hope it is successful, and if it is successful, maybe they'll start bringing in. Don't have it as a third hour of. Do not make it a third hour of Dynamite. That's all I ask. Separate, honestly, if I would, well, if you're gonna do Ring of Honor the traveling show, just make Ring of Honor tapings with Shockwave, Shockwave and Ring of Honor tapings there. Then have Collision. Then have Dynamite. There you go. Done. Don't worry about all that stuff. It's really good. There you go. That's what I would have, in my personal opinion. But that's just my thing, you know. And also, you know, hmm, also though, in other wrestling news, Grant um, uh, made a huge statement, a press briefing with, the General's Grant's lawyer, and Callis made a. Let me just see if I can get an article about this, by the way, because it is big news, and I don't want to forget about that. But yeah, here is the. Uh, let's see if I can get it. All right. I like Brave, but man, the search engine's crap, and I can't trust Google. So I use Bing, by the way. So yeah. Um, let me just put this here. The wrap right here. Hold up. Perfect. Yeah. She's suing him for the sexual as not only Vince McMahon but also executive John Laurinaitis for sexual misconduct and abuse. Told members of the press today, Thursday, that her client declined to participate in the Netflix docu series Mr. McMahon because she wants to tell her story herself rather than being part of a larger docu series on McMahon's life. While Janelle didn't participate in the Netflix docu series, we hope that it shines a light on the horror action of McMahon, frequently on the WWE property, and portrays the realities of his abuse and exploitative behavior. And it continues on that the coercion of the sexual relationship between McMahon and company executive and former, General Grant was a coercion to a sexual relationship with both McMahon and former wrestler and company executive John Laurinaitis, while the sex taking place at the WWE headquarters, as well as attempting to arrange sex between her and WWE wrestler and former UFC fighter Brock Lesnar. Her allegations also include that McMahon repeatedly sexually assaulted her between 2020 and 2021. When asked when Grant declined to be part of the series, oh yeah, I already talked about that part. And right here, this talks about uh, the federal government case stands at the time. She said, no, Randall, but says we would like the charges of any to be brought express uh, expressly, so she may resume her expeditiously. I can't pronounce anything. So she may resume her civil suit. So the only thing we know for sure is that there's an active, ongoing, non-public criminal investigation. I was a judge for a long time, Callis adds, and a criminal judge for a long time. And I know these things in state court, and I know these things take some time. And what we like, what we want it to be right, not fast. And saying that Janelle was being treated with IVs. She didn't know what was in the IVs. She was given pills. She didn't know what the pills, what the content was those pills. She said also she wanted more victims. She did anticipate other victims going forward. Right now, with the status of what's going on with the non-public federal criminal investigation, they're not spoken to any current victims of Mr. McMahon's sex abuse at the WWE. And said also, we do have every reason to believe that Janelle was not the only woman who was subject to McMahon's abuse. They put out this thing. Reports that McMahon has to put out more than $12 million to 4 other women who are all affiliated with the company at points over the past 16 years to suppress allegations of sexual misconduct and McMahon's marital infidelity. This is a clear pattern of predatory behavior. And also the Miss Grant also granted the public relations firm SKDK had a premiere of McMahon docuseries. The firm previously worked with survivors of sexual abuse connected with Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Marilyn Manson, among others. And they're saying to help support and raise awareness of Janelle's case. And there's something I think we need to be right here. Charles took issue how the Grants portrayed by media at times. Aren't she's portrayed as a survivor? She should be portrayed as a survivor of human trafficking and sexual abuse. She's a victim and survivor. She is a victim and a survivor. She is not a WWE storyline. Thank you. Which some people seem to forget about that. But my hope is that there is going to be, Vince McMahon shows a little bit of, more of a consequence. But my fear, my real fear is that Vince will be, you'll be getting Les Moonves treatment. Because remember, like I keep saying about Les Moonves, and I keep saying about this, let me say. Let's see. Because remember, this thing happened, and no one seems to forget about this part. Right here. Let's see. Not only did he do, let's see. Because remember, Les Moonves not only destroyed evidence of his sexual misconduct, by the way, but this article is more than 5 years old and everything else. Misled information and such. But also, right here, I know this is Vice and people have an issue with Vice, but right here, in fact, this stuff right here, a Los Angeles Police Department captain helped former CBS executive cover up multiple allegations of sexual assault. And what was his like? Again, this is Les Moonves. This is recent, and a lot. This is something horrible. Imagine this happening. You know, like this is imagine, but it actually did happen. Like, oh my gosh, all these people. Yet, what is this? What was his whole situation? What did the punishment of Les Moonves? What is it? You can see right here. As a partnership has incurred a 35.5 million segment. There it is. That's all it got. A 30.5 million settlement with CBS and Moonves. And they will cover the bulk of the payout, with Moonves handling over 2.5 million in total. There it is. You didn't get any type of real consequences. So yeah. Here it is. And he never got any consequence. This man never served any real time or whatever for all this other stuff. And that to me really has messed things up to me. And I know, like I said, goes right back to, let me just say, to Vince McMahon and all that stuff here. Because again, some people are like, oh, wow, that's a little bit, why are you so cynical? Why am I so cynical about this stuff? Because again, like I said, if Les Moonves can get away with this and such, I mean, Vince McMahon, I would love to see him take the perp walk. I would love to see same thing with a lot of these sexual abusers. I would love to see that. But reality is, well, the system, I know people don't like me to say this, but screw it. We live on a horrible system of white supremacy and all this other stuff that we're living under. This man will not serve a day in prison. And the best you can hope for, is this with Les Moonves. Let me see. Once again, Les Moonves. Once again, Les Moonves, who did this. Cops helped him, cover sexual assault allegations. Hell, like I keep saying, he says, I am deeply sorry that this happened. The LAPD captain let you told Moonves. I will always stand with and pledge my allegiance to you. You have embodied leadership, class, and the highest character throughout all of this. Right there. And you think this person should be in a perp walk, should be in jail, but no, he's not. So, like I said, Vince McMahon should be locked up in jail, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Sorry, I just went into this stuff here because I do care about this big news about with Vince McMahon and everything else, and the documentary is about to come out. So it is something I have to say about this. And if you want to come and talk about this or AEW or whatever, the link here is right here. So if you want to come and talk to me about that and all that good stuff, right there. So don't worry, you can have it's right there in the chat room right here. So I had to get that out there. So if I'm wrong, I can be wrong. But, at the end of the day, I just wanted to say, I need to get that piece out. I want, like I said, I want Vince to go to jail. I want him to do the perp walk. I do. But reality is, we don't live in that world, man. And I doubt we ever going to live. I don't know if we ever going to live to see that world. It would be nice. It would be nice if we did. Anyway, that's one segment down. I had to get that out there, ladies and gentlemen. But we're gonna talk a little about Nintendo next. We're gonna talk about Nintendo and soon the Palworld and all the stuff that's about that. All that stuff is going on. And I want to hear. By the way, if you want your thoughts here, chat, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I want to hear that from you. So, like, comment, subscribe, and everything else. We'll be right back here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thanks so much for joining me, Dukect. We'll be right back right after this. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me, Dukect. I am humbled every time that people are listening, watching via YouTube, Talk Shoe, or anywhere else in around the world. Thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect. And once again, next week we'll be having a wild card. So that means you set up the tone, you set up the topics, what I should talk about, in terms of pro wrestling, from pro wrestling, by hot pro wrestling takes, from entertainment. Move, Huck, Agatha, all along just premiered. I think the Penguins premiering right now. I'm probably gonna watch that after the show's up. You can talk to me about that, and heard some good stuff about either, whatever. You can talk to me. I can talk about that and all the other things. So anyway, that is coming up next week if y'all want to sit there and do all that type of stuff. So anyway, let's talk about Pocketpair and Nintendo because this happened next week, and here he is. It's from the Sun. And about the Palworld was created by a small indie studio and everything else. It was Pocketpair, Nintendo's Pokemon. I mean, yeah, Pokemon with guns, and yeah, these things kind of look similar, and they look like legal proceedings and everything else. And a previous statement of potential power lawsuit for Nintendo, where the company will investigate and take appropriate measures to act if things if they infringe intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon and our two Pokemon, the Pokemon Company, and all that stuff. And then not only that, it's finally happened. They have finally announced they are going to be suing Palworld developer Pocketpair, but it's not for the people's thought. People thought it's going to be about the designs, but no, it's for patent infringement. Yes, it is a patent infringement, not copyright, which is interesting because a lot of the stuff goes to patents and such with Nintendo. I mean, there's a lot of the stuff patents, man. There's a lot of patents that are, I'm not a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. Let me just say again, I'm not a lawyer. Um, I'm not a lawyer, and such. But supposedly it is. It's like a patent and such. But there are supposedly some patents that they were going to maybe have violated. I mean, it has real time battles and all this stuff with survival crafting elements. And there are exactly, it looks like there are like some models that do look dangerously close to, like, say, some creatures from Pokemon. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, so yeah, it could be. Um, but yeah, at this exactly, they're not. And also, Pocketpair saying yes, the lawsuit was filed against the company for patent infringement. They said they have noticed as well, and they're getting the appropriate legal proceedings and the investigations into claims of patent infringement. At this moment, they're unaware of the specific patents we are accused of infringing on, and they have not been told about this. They say this is a small indie game company based in Tokyo. They said that's what they said in the press release, saying their goal is, as a company, to always create fun games. Fun games to continue to pursue this goal because we know that they know that our games bring joy to millions of gamers in the world. Power was a surprise success here for both gamers and for us. We are blown away by the amazing response to the game and have been working hard to make it even better for our fans. We will continue improving Palworld and strive to create a game that our fans can be proud of. It is truly unfortunate that we will be forced to allocate significant time to matters unrelated to game development due to this lawsuit. However, we will do our utmost for our fans, ensure that indie game developers are not hindered or discouraged from pursuing their creative ideas. We apologize for the fans and supporters. Any worry, discomfort that this news has caused. As always, thank you for considering support of Palwell, and Pocketpair. And quote. So, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I don't even play one on my podcast or my web show. It is, like I said, a very it's a very um again, I always have a bit of worried about of not just Pocketpair, but although that type of thing looked like it was flirting with the idea of copyright infringements. Looked like it did, and some are saying, "Oh, that means Nintendo has to um you know that sort of stuff." I personally, like I said, if this stuff happens, will the game be shut down? Probably. I'm not into Palworld. It looks like it's not for me. But it seems like it was just slowly becoming more irrelevant. People are like, let me just see, because I think the people were not really talking about it anymore. I'm gonna see the Steam charts. All right. Let's see. I'm looking at Steam starts though. Dota 2 is still there. Battleground, Call of Duty, Baldur's Gate 3, Rust, Apex Legends, Counter Strike 2. Let me just see. Palworld. Let's see. Survey says. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, this is supposedly the Steam. I mean, that's one. This is only, remember, this is only one player. This is one aspect of the game, Steam. Not does not count Xbox or whatever, but it is a good metric for most players and such. Current players is 12,000. The average 30-day is 19,000, and the average day game is negative 6,000, negative 25. It is not doing well. Power World has been slowly. It was up there and it just went down. It's like I don't know what it was. It's just like it was a hit and it was gone. Hit, gone, and that's, to me, nothing is sustainable. So I'm just see something. Hold on. I want to see something. Ooh. Yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah, Powell, like I said, all the other stuff I looked and like is doing pretty well. But this Powell, though, is looking pretty bad. I mean, yeah, it was once upon a time the top record. It was once upon a time. It was this year, January. It was the peak players was 2 million. Was 2 million. Look at that. It was right up there with PUBG Battlegrounds and Black Myth or Wukong. I'm probably gonna look it up and play that maybe. I'm looking to see what else. But yeah, here's the thing. You look at what PUBG is still there. See what else is there. I mean, Banana. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it's up there. Boulder Gate 3 is up there. Uh I think, is Elden Ring still there? No, it's probably still in the top 15 or whatever. But yeah, it is still, these are games in Dota 2. That's still in the top games right now. It just seems that these games have a connection with its audience, and they still have that connection with the audience. all this time. It's long lasting. Palworld just seemed to just be here and just not be there anymore. I don't know what it is, but it's just like once upon a time, Palworld was the top was top of the world in January. It was top of the world. Let's see. Look at this. It was over 1 million and it just fell. And it kept going back, and now it's like 20,000 to a million. It is. It is just not really being. It's just like it started from 1 million. It just kept. It just right here. It was up. Peak players, one of the biggest things, and now it just was. It's in the irrelevant bin. It's irrelevant. No, what is the last time people have talked about this game? And I think Nintendo's like, okay. I think the reason why I think they're leaping on it now is because they're like, okay, it's most people have got out of this system. If they would have got that early, people would have been up there more upset. Now you got some gamers upset and all that stuff, but right now it's not even relevant. So maybe they're like, okay, let's sit and wait. Now we come and attack because it's not as relevant. We come in and rip people guts out, and there it is. That's the smart thing they're probably doing now. So that's why I think they're probably doing it. So maybe that's way and that's what they're doing. So in this case, they are doing that. And now there's no real. I think they probably are going to sit, wait, and do all the. I don't know, have it delisted probably, or maybe they'll find a settlement, or maybe they'll do a Power Pokemon crossover or something and make the most money or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do fix it with an update or something because people have not done anything. I think the last time they have done anything was, I think, looking around is July and June. I have people were gaining in players, but now it's just no one cares. It's irrelevant. So I think they're probably gonna have this game delisted, and most people are not. And they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that happened," and that's it. I don't know. Maybe, but who knows? Who knows? I want to hear what you thoughts about it. Anyway, that's it for me, Duke CT. Thank you so much for listening to me live here on the Duke CT Lounge, as always. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And just again, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for listening, being here. As always, I'm humbled to take anyone who takes and everything else who listens and all that type of stuff. Anyway, it's Duke CT here. Peace, love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.